So number 21, the directions are factor the expression below completely. So I'm going to look at my two expressions here. I've got an x squared here, and I've got an x squared here inside the x to the fourth. I've got this expression 4x squared plus 1 to the 7th power, and that also exists inside this to the 8th power. So I'm going to factor out all of the common things. So x squared times 4x squared plus 1 to the 7th power. Then I'm going to put another grouping symbol, a bracket. The things that I left here are a 3, and I took out to the 7th power, so there's still a 4x squared plus 1 here. Then here's the plus sign. Now I took out x squared, so there's 64 x squared left, but I completely factored out this to the 7th power, so I can close my bracket there. So this goes along for the ride, as does this to the 7th power. I'm now going to distribute the 3 inside the parentheses, so that's going to be 12x squared plus 3 plus 64x squared. So now I've got some like terms that I can combine, so my final answer is x squared times 4x squared plus 1 to the 7th times 76x squared plus 3. So we'll go look at their solution. X squared times 4x squared plus 1 to the 7th power times 76x squared plus 3. Now, if all you want is the answer, you can stop listening now. But you might be wondering, when in the world would I have an expression like this? And I can answer that question for you. So here we have a function, so it's x cubed times x, or 4x squared plus 1 to the 8th power. The hard way to take the derivative of this would be to expand this using the binomial theorem, and I would end up with 9 terms. It would take probably 45 minutes, an hour to do it that way. Or we can use the product rule. So I'm going to write out my u is x cubed, my u prime is 3x squared. We lost sync there. So 3x squared. My v is the 4x squared plus 1 to the 8th. So v prime is going to be 8 times 4x squared plus 1 to the 7th times the derivative of the inside. I'm going to call the inside w. So w is 4x squared plus 1. W prime is going to be 8x, so I need to multiply this by 8x. So simplifying this, that's 64x times 4x squared plus 1, all to the 7th power. So to get my derivative f prime of x, I'm going to follow this, so v times u prime. So swapping the order, 3x squared times 4x squared plus 1, all to the 8th power, plus u times v prime, so going this way. So x cubed times 64x is 64x to the 4th times 4x squared plus 1 to the 7th power. So I actually worked backwards and figured out that that was the function that they were taking the derivative of. Now, my personal opinion is this is a perfectly fine derivative, but in the calculus world, if I want to make this derivative match the back of the book answer, I need to do this simplification. And we can go one step further and go take the derivative in the calculator. So if I want a derivative, the quick and easy keyboard shortcut is Shift minus. I want my variable to be x, and I'm doing a capital there. So I'm going to do x to the third power, break out of that 4x squared plus 1, break out of that parenthesis to the 8th power, and we end up with the factored expression just like we got. So that concludes this video.